Welcome to the Entre Pastors podcast on YouTube. This is a show that helps pastors think, act, and thrive as prosperous entrepreneurs. If you are new to the Entre Pastors podcast, let me just bring you up to speed real quick on what it is that we do here at Entre Pastors and the kind of content we create. So we help pastors launch entrepreneurial businesses in the marketplace, thus the name Entre Pastors. We took the word entrepreneur and pastor, shoved them together, made a new word called Entre Pastors. And we believe that it's a good thing for a pastor to have some financial margin in their life. We think it's a good thing when a pastor is not locked into just one single source of income from a church, because much of the time, let's be honest, that income is often underfunded and is not providing very well for a pastor's family. And for many reasons, we think it's a good thing for a pastor to have an additional stream of revenue that comes from outside of the church. And that's what we help pastors do. So just want to make sure we're clear on all of that, and as we set the stage for the conversation that I want to have today. So here's the title of this week's episode. I'm calling this 1 year from now. 1 year from now is the title. Before I go any further, let me say this for those listening. I am a coach. And if you've ever played on a sports team, if you've ever had a coach, and I'm specifically thinking like I played football and I wrestled. I mean, I did some other sports as well, baseball, but my mind's going back to some of my old salty football coaches that I had coming up through the ranks and into high school. Wish I could say my football career went further than that, but that's where it ended. But I'm a coach, and if you've ever had a coach, you know that sometimes a good coach will get in your face a little bit. Sometimes a good coach might even raise their voice and yell. I'm probably not going to raise my voice and yell, but I'm telling you right now on the front side of this episode, I'm coming at you like a coach today. I'm going to get in your face a little bit for some of you. And it's not because I'm getting down on you. It's not because I'm mad at you. It's like any good coach, I want you to win. I want to call out the best that's inside of you. And some of you, we're not getting that yet. There's something being held back. You're not thriving because you're not living to the fullest that you could live. I mean, that's probably true of many of us in lots of areas in our life, right? But I'm going to talk to you like a coach today who sees something in you that you're not yet bringing out for the rest of the world, and I'm going to get in your grill about it a little bit. And it's not just you. I'm also talking to the person that's driving in the car behind you and in front of you. And this is going out to a lot of people. But proverbially, that's a hard word to say, I'm going to get in your face and step on some toes, and I'm going to speak like a coach in your ear hole of your football helmet. You good with that? Okay. If not, shut us off right now because we're about to get rowdy in here. Here's my question for you. What will your life look like 1 year from now? I want you to think about that. Just project out 12 months in your thinking. What do you want your life to look like 12 months from now? What do you think your life might look like 12 months from now? I can tell you the answer. Well, at least I can give you a partial answer. And here it is. Are you ready? The answer is it depends. It depends on the action that you either choose to take right now or not take. The action that you choose to take today or the action that you choose not to take today is going to have a dramatic impact on the answer to that question. What is my life going to look like 1 year from now? Okay, I have an email that I want to read, and I've scrubbed this, hopefully, of anything that could identify the person who wrote this. And hey, if you're the guy who wrote this and you're hearing your email read on the podcast, I want you to hear my heart in this, brother. I'm not down on you. I'm not mad at you. I'm your coach who's frustrated with you, but this isn't just you, man. I'm not just looking at you. This is going out to an entire profile. There are many others like you in our community. I just want to share a recent email that came to myself and Les, and I do this a little bit hesitantly because I don't want others to go, man, I don't want to write John an email. He's going to put it on the air and embarrass me. That's why my goal, my heart is not to embarrass or to call out anybody, to name names, But there's a teachable moment here, and I want to share this. So, a few weeks back, Les and I both received an email, and it goes like this. Hi, John and Les. It's great to connect with you guys. I've been listening to your podcast for about a year, I think. Today, I heard John mention the money mindset offer, so I went to the site to watch the video and download the workbook. Quick aside, that was just a few weeks ago that at the end of our podcast episode, we offered one of our free opt-in resources. And if you go to entrepastors.com/money mindset, you can see exactly the resource this individual is referencing. It's just a quick little video where we talk about how to turn up your financial thermostat and how to change some of your thinking around money. And there's some notes that go with it, a little workbook. And anyway, that's what he's referring to when he says, I heard John mention the money mindset offer. Okay, let me pick up where I left off. In the workbook that he got for free in this through this offer, in the workbook, I saw the offer for a free coaching call. So I'm reaching out to take you up on the offer. Cool. So far, so good. He goes on to say, in the past, I've been a missionary overseas and also a worship pastor here in the States. Most recently, I've been in Christian education, teaching science, math, and Bible at 2 private Christian high schools, and then he names the area, and I'm not going to name that. My career path has been very convoluted, but a constant theme has been under-earning. That's a powerful statement right there. My career path has been very convoluted, but a constant theme has been under-earning. It's caused major stress in my marriage. I need to start working now on real solutions that will change our financial future, both short-term and long-term. Can we talk? Thank you, and then gives his name. So I want to just point out a couple of things in here. First of all, kudos on taking action. Look at this. He took action, reached out for not only the free download, but once he got the free download, he saw, John and Les have made a free coaching conversation available for anybody who took that action step. Again, I want you to hear the heart of Entre Pastors here. We want to add value. I want this to be a valuable platform and to serve people well. And so is there a business end in goal in all of this? Absolutely. I don't want to do this for free. I want to do this as a for-profit business. So there's ultimately going to be some offers that are made. There's no secret about that. But we are willing to give and give and give and give in order to serve. And so kudos on taking action, for reaching out for that free download, and then taking the next step of action of, reaching out for that free coaching call that's offered in there. So that's all good. Cool. A couple other things I want to point out is where this writer mentions the constant theme of under-earning. First of all, I want to say thank you for your transparency and vulnerability with that. I promise there are probably the vast majority of people listening to this podcast that would say, me too. Me too. That has been part of our world. And I'm saying this personally as John, to you, the writer of this, also me too. Brother, I grew up in a pastor's home. One of the biggest reasons that I resisted being a pastor myself is because I saw how poorly a family lived on a pastor's salary. And while I loved the church and I have so much to be grateful for. I had a, relatively healthy and functional home life growing up. We didn't have much money. And I saw that and I felt that. I felt that pressure even as a kid growing up in ministry. And then I went into it for myself and I experienced it at the adult level of holding my breath every time we would swipe the debit card at the grocery store, hoping there's enough in the checking account to cover that, hoping that the check that we had to wait a couple extra days from the church because the offering was a little tight, and hopefully that all went through and cleared and we'll actually be able to get the groceries and not look like idiots standing there in the grocery line. So, brother, I feel you on that, and there's no judgment. I want you to hear that from me. We are here to help you. I want to help you, and I want to help thousands of other pastors like you. I am sick and tired of that narrative of the starving pastor, this idea that because you said yes to the Lord, you also said yes to poverty. Show me where I signed up for that. And again, if the Holy Spirit directly said, yes, you are going to be poor and like it, then praise God. You celebrate poverty and deal with the Holy Spirit on that. He never said that to me, and yet I signed up for it because I thought that's what we did. That's what I saw growing up. I thought that was part of the deal, that, oh, you're a pastor, that's synonymous with being broke. Well, at Entre Pastors, we're done with that narrative. I want to set pastors free from that scarcity, poverty place of saying, because I chose to serve the Lord in these various vocational ministry fields, I also chose to under-earn and be underfunded for most of my life. So no judgment. I want you to hear that. I want you to know, like, that lands deeply with me. When you say that, like, I can feel that, brother. I also can feel, and I appreciate you sharing where you mentioned it has caused major stress in your marriage. The thing that I want to ask our audience to consider is, do you think it's just the marriage that it feels the stress of that financial struggle? Could it be that your church has felt it too, even if they didn't actually know it or couldn't put their finger on it? Could it be that someone who's living in constant financial stress feels that, and it manifests itself in many other areas of your life, your physical well-being, your emotional well-being? Said differently, Les and I have been saying for years that when a pastor's healthy, the church can be healthy. If the pastor's not healthy, the church is going to struggle for health. And I think we cannot overlook finances as a part of that. I'm not saying that the financial situation is the be-all, end-all to all problems, but it's not nothing. It's a part of this conversation, and it's a part that has been overlooked for far too long in the church, where we've just, joked about, God, you keep our pastor humble, we'll keep him poor, har, har, har. I'm done laughing about that because I grew up in that home. I've led that home, and I'm done. I'm over it. So it ain't just your marriage, brother. I can tell you this. If it's caused stress in your marriage, I believe that. But it's probably likely caused stress in other areas of your life as well. So I just wanted to highlight a couple of those things. So far, you're like, so what are you yelling about, John? What are you getting ready to lower the boom on? Here it comes. Are you ready? Did you catch the part in this brother's email where he said, I've been listening to your podcast for about a year? 12 months, give or take. I mean, I'm not going to hold him to that year, but that's long enough to have sat by week after week, after month, feeling the stress on my marriage, feeling that pinch of under-earning, listening to stories of other pastors who have figured out some other ways of doing this through the interviews that we do, hearing the constant invites that go out from John and Les week after week after week. The webinars, all of the resources that are made available, the different coaching programs that we have. And a year later, we go, okay, now's the time to reach out. And again, brother, if you're listening to this, this is not just for you. Because, case in point, literally just within this week, as I'm recording this, I got another very similar email from someone, reached out. I would love to connect with you. What resources are available? Not immediately, but with same-day response. Here's a link to my scheduling tool. I would love to have a conversation with you, and I would, and can't wait. I hope this guy responds. Here's the next part where I'm really going to yell. Do you think I heard back from this guy after sending my scheduling link to say, let's go, sign up, let's talk, let's get an appointment on the calendar? You know what it's been? Crickets on both accounts. So I'm not just calling out one person. I am speaking to a profile of our audience, and I'm frustrated with it. I'm just going to be honest. There is a deep part of me that is frustrated with this community of inaction. We are leaders who don't take action. We are leaders who, and I think I know what it is. It's probably fear is probably the biggest thing. Fear of what other people are going to think. Fear of what if this doesn't work out? What if I fail? I get it. I've heard all those voices of fear. I feel those things from time to time. So I get it. I'm not judging. I don't know what your reason is for the lack of action, but that's what I'm calling out. It took a year for this brother to reach out and say, hey, can I get some help? And then when the answer was, yes, let's talk, nothing. And I could, some of you right now are probably going, John, be fair, man. Like maybe it's been a busy week. Maybe he's had a busy thing going on at his church and a thing coming up. And so there's the thing that he hasn't gotten back to you. Maybe, possibly. But again, I think there's another option, that this points to a pattern of inaction. You sat on this for a year before reaching out, and you didn't reach out. And so I think the pattern would suggest, no, it's not because of the thing. The thing is always the excuse to keep me from taking action and moving forward. Now, again, maybe some guys out there that feel like John's judging them and yelling at them right now would go say, what if I looked in my junk folder? Maybe they never even saw the email. And so John's sitting here yelling, and they thought John's the jerk because they thought John never responded and it went to their junk folder. That's possible. So everybody go check your junk folders, okay? Make sure that you're not missing out on some of these invites from me to a coaching conversation. But I don't think I'm misreading this much. So I hope you hearing my tone on this, brother. Here's what I want to say. I am not down on you, and I hope don't feel like you have to come crawling back to me going, I am so sorry I didn't reach out. I'm saying this, and I'm holding this up as a teachable moment. I'm saying this because I care about you. I care enough about you to give you a kick in the pants to go, stop living this way. Hey, brother, what if you didn't have to have that be part of your story anymore, to have that constant theme? These are your words, a constant theme of under-earning. What if that story could end today? But I promise you this, if you take no action 12 months from now, a year from now, that's still going to be part of your story. I'm under-earning. And it does not have to be that way. Okay. I'm going to quit yelling a little bit, and I want to tell you a story that we can celebrate, and I'm going to actually let you hear it from this guy's mouth here in just a minute. But before I get to that, let me tell you, a few months ago, we launched a new program for EntrePastors. It's honestly one of the things I'm most excited about. I think it's one of the coolest things that, as we're about 2 years into this process, and Les and I, typical of any entrepreneurial startup, Les and I have tried things like we're pivoting. We work at something. If that doesn't take off, well, let's change this. Let's tweak that. Let's make a different offering. And a few months ago, we rolled out something called EntrePastors Business Builders. It's kind of our middle package of our membership community. And it is, like I said, what I'm most excited about right now with our EntrePastors platform. When we first launched it, if you went back and listened to, the episode from probably 3 months ago or so when we rolled this out, you would hear us at the time saying that we were, doing 2 calls a month for business builders. So you get access to all of the stuff that's kind of at our lowest level of our membership community, which is $9 a month. You get all of that, which is our Pastor's Roadmap to Financial Freedom. It's our course that it shows you kind of how to walk through this process of getting a business up and off the ground. But it comes with 2 coaching calls each month with the group. So the group gets on a call. Well, here's the thing that I wanted to tell you. Here's a huge update. We have in order to add more value to this community, we have moved this from a twice a month call to a every single week call. And I want to just run down the structure for what this is going to look like, because we're having fun in this group. This group meets on Wednesdays at 10 a.m. Central Time, and there's a lot of energy in this group right now. So here's kind of the format for what these calls will look like in our Business Builders meetings from now moving forward. We've got the first Wednesday of the month, we bring in an outside expert. Like coming up in November of 2023, as I'm recording this, we've got Vincent Puglisi booked to come in and share with our business leaders. These are pastors who are just getting started and launching their businesses. Vincent is one of our former guests on the podcast, and he has written a book called The Wealth of Connection. He has a whole strategy about how to grow a business and build community around your message. And it's not through the ways that so often we think of, where it's like, man, I got to blow this up on Facebook ads and all this stuff. It's very relational, one connection at a time. And he's going to be in our group the first Wednesday in November to talk to us about what that looks like, how he has built out a membership community through this model that he speaks about much of the time. So like that's an example of Les and I are going to bring someone from our network, one of our people that's in our inner circle. We're going to bring them into this Business Builders group to give you access to their expertise in whatever their area is. I've got some other ones booked out, and I'm not going to go into all of them right now, but that's the first Wednesday of the month. That's what the call is. The second Wednesday of the month is what we call our boot camp. And on this call, we break out into smaller rooms in Zoom. You can go into those breakout rooms. And so then in a group of 2 to 3 people, you are on a monthly basis answering these questions. So imagine this. Imagine if you are just getting a business off the ground, knowing that, hey, a month from now, I'm going to be meeting with other pastors who understand what it is to be in pastoral ministry and carry all of that. And they also are launching businesses, and we all come together, and here's some questions that we answer on that second call of the month. Share some wins from your business this past month. Let's talk business. What are you celebrating? Share the revenue. Not like share it in terms of give me some of your money, but like share what are the numbers? Did we make sales this past month? And we're going to celebrate that. We're going to be a community where a pastor can come into a group and say, I just had X amount of dollars a month come into my life through my business this month. Praise God. We'll celebrate that. So what are your numbers? Share your current challenges. Where are you struggling? Where do you feel stuck in your business pursuit as you're getting this thing up and going? Where is it that you're struggling and feeling stuck? What actions are you committing to taking over the next month? Again, we're pushing for that. That's what this whole thing is about on this show is take action, do something. Don't just sit there. And so, hey, what are you committing to in this group? What can we hold you accountable to? And then the last question, I love this one. How has God used your business as a platform for ministry this past month? I've got a fun story with my handyman business. I'm not going to take the time to go into it, but just last week I had an awesome opportunity to serve somebody and in a life-changing way through my business. So maybe I'll share that story at another time. And again, let's create a conversation where that topic is being discussed, where we're not losing sight of the fact that this is ministry, Pastor. Ministry does not just happen inside the 4 walls of your church building, and you've been called to ministry, right? So maybe we should get out into the marketplace where there's people who actually need ministering too. So anyway, that's the second Wednesday of the month. The third Wednesday is where we do a Q&A. So you come to the call with your questions. Sometimes on that call, we will also bring like past podcast guests, some of our standout guests from previous shows. We'll book them and bring them in, and we can go deeper into their world, and you can have direct access to them. So we're excited about that. The fourth Wednesday of the month is what we call our training room and discussion. So this is where John and Les are coming to this community, and we're bringing a training of some sort, and we're opening the floor to discuss whatever that is. And then the fifth Wednesday of the month, quarterly, you kind of have that weird month where you've got 5 Wednesdays in the month. We will create a hot seat opportunity for someone in our Business Builders community and say, like, look, you can have the whole call or maybe half of the call if we've got a couple people that are asking for that. But you'll have the whole group at your disposal to speak into your situation, bring your questions, walk us through it, let us think out loud with you, and have the benefit of having some listening ears as you talk about what you're planning, what you're thinking. Incredible opportunity. And you know what the investment is for this, guys? It's $100 a month to be in our Business Builders group. Even at just 2 calls a month like we were doing, it's a valuable thing. But man, it is a no-brainer in my opinion. I'm sitting here going, if a resource like this would have existed when I was getting started in ministry or at any point along the way, if I could have had somebody giving me the permission, cheerleading me on, creating an environment where I was supported and getting access to resources and tools, oh my goodness, things could look so much different in my world today. And I don't want that to sound like bitter or ungrateful. I'm just saying, I wish Entre Pastors would have existed years ago when I was just getting going. But the good news is it does exist today. And so again, I come back to my question, what is your world going to look like 12 months from now? What is life going to be like for you? And what action are you going to take to move it in that direction? All right, I'm going to wrap this up by sharing a video testimonial. It's a video if you're watching on YouTube. Actually, I think this will just be audio. even on YouTube, just because the way I've got this set up. But let me roll this. This is from Dusty Foster. Dusty is a recent graduate of another one of our programs called our Business Launch Academy. Now he is in our Business Builders community as well. And listen to this. These are his words, and I just want to share what he has to say about this. So roll tape.
Hey, my name is Dusty Foster, and I am a graduate from the Business Launch Academy, and I can't even begin to tell you how much this has changed my life. I've been a pastor for over 20 years, and even though progressively over time my salary increased, as a single income family, it was just never enough. And I got to the point where I'm just tired of being poor. And I'm also realizing that my salary puts a burden on the local church. So to rethink what it would look like to find my primary source of income was so important to me. And John and Les really helped me understand that it's possible to provide for my family and to also continue to carry out my calling. And so I started my own company. I have an LLC now. I'm on the road doing jobs, making money, and also serving. It is ministry. My job is ministry, and it's giving me opportunities to connect with the church abroad instead of just one local body. I am still currently serving as a worship leader and preaching, but my primary goal in my business is to minister to the large church. And so it's been so fun to use my gifts and my calling and my passion in my company to serve and to minister, but yet to make money and to be able to provide for my family and feel good about my calling. So thank you, Les and John. There is no way without your steps to your checklist and without the encouragement to keep going and to change the way I think about ministry and the way I think about life, the way I think about money. Lord, all of those things just needed to happen. And it was just an invaluable experience. So if you're questioning jumping on board with these guys, do it. You will love it. It will be awesome.
Well, there you go, Dusty, man. I'm grateful for that testimonial that you provided for us. And guys, here's something really exciting I want you to hear. Literally today, as I'm recording this in my studio today, earlier today we had our call with our Business Builders community. And on that call, are you ready for this? Dusty shared with us that he just had an $8,000 month in his business. Now, again, for someone who's maybe been in business for a long, long time, they may look at that and go, boy, those are starter numbers. But I'm telling you, for those of us who have served in pastoral ministry, who know what those salaries look like, to have that kind of number, that's like celebration time. And by the way, Dusty's coming on the show in the near future. He's going to be a guest on our show. So you'll get to hear more of his story. But I wanted to say this, and hopefully, and I think it's okay for me to say this on the recording here today. But when we first met Dusty just a few months ago, at the time this was all brand new to him, and he was thrilled at the concept of he had just been, had an opportunity to do some substitute teaching at his local school for $100 a day. And again, I'm not taking anything away from that, but I said to him, I remember saying to him, Dusty, in a short period of time, we're gonna look back on this moment and remember when you thought that was a significant amount of money, that we're going to help you see that through your own entrepreneurial business, there is far more earning potential in you than being a substitute teacher. And I'm not dishonoring the work at all. I want you to hear my heart and my tone on that. But we can do better than this, and we can help you do better than this. And I reminded him of that today. I mean, that literally was just months ago. How much change has come into his life and his family's life as he's moving forward down this road. And we are not the hero of the story. I want you to hear that clearly. This is not about putting EntrePastors on the pedestal. My friend, you're the hero of your story. And please don't write me emails saying, Jesus is the hero of my story. You know what I'm saying. Knock it off, okay? We're just the guides that are coming alongside you going, we can show you how to get there, and we'll walk with you as you're getting there. 1 year from now, you could have a similar story. 1 year from now, you could have a story where you're celebrating the revenue that's coming into your family through your business. And as you're still pastoring and doing that part of your life that you love and feel a strong calling to, or 1 year from now, you could be writing an email to John and Les saying, hey, I've been listening to you guys for the last year. I've done nothing other than listen for the last 12 months, but now I'm reaching out. And chances are, if you do that, when we invite you to take the next step, maybe we're going to wait another 12 months. I don't know. I don't know how long it's going to be for this brother to take action. But I'm asking for you, what is it going to be for you? Which of those two stories sounds more attractive to you? 1 year from now to have a business that's thriving, or 1 year from now to still be kind of sort of thinking about it? Well, hey, thanks for watching this episode of the EntrePastors Podcast. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can be notified every time we release a new episode. If you'd like to get connected to other pastors who are learning to think, act, and thrive as prosperous entrepreneurs, then we invite you to check us out on Facebook. Just search for the EntrePastors Connect group, answer a few of our simple questions there, and we'd love to include you in the conversations. And if you're really ready to go to the next level, then we invite you to join our EntrePastors membership community. When you become a monthly subscriber, you will receive access to courses, exclusive community, and coaching that will help you along in your own EntrePastors journey. If there's anything else we can do to serve you, please visit us at EntrePastors.com, and we will do our best to serve you there. God bless everybody. See you soon.